The Immortal John Hancock here, and today I'm going to talk about an oddity I like collecting for, the Ouya. If you don't know what an Ouya is, it was a micro console that came out 2013. It was a Kickstarter success. Success as in it raised a lot of money and actually delivered and released it. Now, commercially it was a failure, but we'll get more into that later. There's lots of variations of the Ouya, and for a lot of people have heard about it. They may have never seen one before. It, is the butt of many jokes. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that. I'm going to talk about my collection and explain to you why you may want to consider collecting the Ouya. Let's check it out. There's a lot to know about the Ouya and collecting for it. And so I'm going to try to go over the different console variations of the ones that I have. I don't have exactly everything. I have most of everything. So going to start here with the Kickstarter edition, and it's right front and center. And the Kickstarter edition, the first version of it, was supposed to have the backers that contributed $10,000 or more. And it's a silver console like the retail, but it has some engravements on it. I had this donated to my collection. I didn't have it. And it comes with a standard silver controller, batteries. And if you've never seen a Ouya before, you can take the controller apart and put batteries in there. That was one of the big issues people had with the Ouya, that the face plates kind of clipped on the buttons. The controller isn't the best, and there's some ways to bypass that. DualShock 3 PlayStation controller is typically the one of the better controllers people use instead of the Ouya controller. There's many others that are compatible with it. All right, so this is the Kickstarter box. It was all black. And this is an actual, all the manuals are white. And they look like this. But this black one is the Canadian insert. So it's with additional language. So yeah. So there you go. Now, most people got the engraved that supported the $99 Kickstarter. They got the engraved. The first edition was supposed to have the engraved names on it. The people that contributed $10,000. However, there's some people that got sent the retail version. I don't know how many, but the first edition is the engraved Kickstarter silver color. All right. For the last week of the Kickstarter, there was a bonus, and with additional money, you could get the bronze, and the bronze is typically what's called the Kickstarter, but really it was only available the last week of the Kickstarter campaign. And I did get one donated to me, and it is brand new. And again, the bronze color, not my favorite color, but it's cool. And again, there was another thing that you could get, and I don't have it in my collection, and for additional money you could get your name engraved on a controller. I've not seen one of those. However, I don't even know if they actually did it, but I'm sure they did. I don't have an engraved controller with someone's username on it, and so that's kind of another nice variation of it. All right, so the Kickstarter came out in March, and specifically, looks here, March 28th is what the Kickstarter one was shipped. Now, that's the Kickstarter version. The next version that came out was the retail version, and this is my retail Ouya that I bought at Target. And it's just standard silver, and it's, brushed metal, not brushed metal, just metal. It's a metal casing. It's heavy. And it, oh yeah, real quick. The Ouya Kickstarter one came with one of these. This is the Kickstarter one, I do believe. Thank you for believing. I turned it on by accident. All right. This is the retail version, and the retail version box is different. And that's the retail box. And this is, I got it again, got it at Target. Came with this insert, a white manual. They all are white. All the manuals look the same. All the same power cord too that I know of, except for the development console, which I do not have. Real quick, let's rewind. So that's the retail version. Now, there was a development console, And I only have the controller. Now the development console, there's supposedly 600 of them out there. I do not have the development console. I tried winning one on eBay and lost a couple weeks ago. I was a little bummed about that. But yes, there is a development console. And alright, so retail, that's the retail, that's the Kickstarter, that's the development. Next up, now, there's something in this collection I'm really happy to get. Thank you, Brian, again, to helping me get this off of Craigslist across the United States. And that is the white Ouya. And you're probably wondering, what's that? Well, when November hit, November 23rd to be exact, the Ouya decided that they were going to double the memory capacity of the console from 8 gigabytes to 16. And this is the very rare white, and it was only available at retail for 5 weeks. So from November 23rd to January 1st, you could purchase this. I do not know if it was available in retail. I do believe it was only available online. I do not have the details, but there it is. White controller. It looks really slick. It's kind of like if Dreamcast and PlayStation, a PS1 had a baby. And so yeah, it's lighter, made of plastic, and this is the box that it comes in, and that's the white edition. It's a little bit different. Obviously the front's different, and this is part of the orange box. And so the orange box was a 2-part box. Same thing, same manual, same plugins. All the batteries, I do believe, were Duracell, at least in the United States. That's what I've seen. All of them come with Duracell batteries. And so that's an important thing to know. If you get a Ouya, make sure to take the batteries out of the face plates. All right, so for 5 weeks, this was the very rare edition of the Ouya for people that want to collect it. Next up is the last edition to be released, and that's the black edition. And this is pretty hard to get too. This is the black edition Ouya, and this is 16 gigabyte, just like the winter edition. And this was released, and I do believe for both the winter and the black edition, it was an additional $30 for $130, and they started selling this on January 31st of 2014. And so here's the black box. Again, these are pretty hard to get now, and I'm just happy to have these in my collection. And again, for most people aren't going to care. And does it really matter which Ouya you have? No, it really doesn't. The one that you're going to find is this one. Oh, by the way, the white and the black did not have this included, I do believe. They did not have that insert. Sales numbers of the Ouya have not been released. Most companies don't do that. What I can tell you is that it was a dismal failure. And so, though I do believe 63,000 people backed it on Kickstarter, which, by the way, Ouya made a ton more than the Atari VCS, and more people supported it. So that should tell you a little bit about the chances of the VCS possibly succeeding. Aren't that good. So, on a side note, there's some additional things here that I have added to my collection. GameStop had these, and these were I do believe they sold the Ouya, and these are display-only packaging of some boxes, some just dummy boxes that were promoting the Ouya. And so I don't think they sold many at all. Also, there were skins that you could customize your Ouya console with, and there's many different ones. This is one that was donated to me. Again, very cool to have that. Now, they have these face plates. Now, the face plates are kind of neat. You can make like kind of a interesting kind of switch controller. They had green, they had red, purple, they had pink, they had yellow, they also had orange. I don't have orange on me, but it's on its way. And the one I'm missing is blue. I'm missing a blue Ouya controller, and that, I think, is it. That is what I have in my collection. So I'm missing a development console and an engraved controller. And that is, I have a lot of fun collecting for this thing. I still play on mine, and ironically I still capture footage on my channel using an Ouya, and so it's just easy, takes up very little space, and it plays a lot of the homebrew games that I cover on my channel. I don't have to fiddle around with things working or not. For the most part, it works. I mean, it has a nice clear image, and I like to use it, and I've used it on several of my videos. So there you have it. So you have some information about the Ouya. What now? Well, if you'd like to find out more information, there's a great little group on Facebook, and it's Razor Forge TV Ouya fans. And I would like to thank Brian for reaching out to me. I've joined the group, and there's just some passionate people out there that still play on their Ouya. And you can find out additional information. Where to purchase one would be eBay, would be the easiest place. They're relatively inexpensive, and it's a fun little machine to play around with. Again, the store is still up, and then, you know, this is not going to be for everybody, but there's a lot of people out there that were talking that they hated the Ouya but never experienced it. Now, the controllers, you can use several different controllers on the Ouya. It's a great little emulator machine, and there's some decent games still on the store. I did a video of some of my favorite games, and I'll put a link below for that. And yeah, just wanted to talk about this funny little machine. And there's a lot of collecting to it, which is funny. And I enjoy collecting for it. And I have a lot of great memories of playing on the Ouya. Thank you so much for people continuing to tune in, as now I march towards 70,000 subs. If you missed my live chat, I've decided to do one live video a week. I had a lot of fun. I was a little nervous doing this last video, but a thank you to Reggie, who helped me kind of get through my first video, and my wife Sarah. So yes, going to be doing some live videos, and looking forward to doing that. Every Tuesday will be my live video day. And so I haven't determined an actual time yet, but that will be determined and posted on my Facebook page. Thank you so much for people continuing to tune in around the world. It is greatly appreciated. You can also support me through Patreon. For as little as $1 a month, you get an exclusive video every month. You folks are wonderful and beautiful. This is the Immortal John Hancock. Thank you, and take care.